I'm gonna walk you through the exact 10 steps to become an AI copywriter in 2025. I've trained thousands of copywriters and I've seen exactly what works and what does not. And if you follow these 10 steps in order, you will go from completely nothing from scratch to closing your first client faster than 95% of other people. Because the truth is, most people skip steps, they try to do everything at once, and they do things just out of order. And that's exactly why they stay stuck. But if you do these 10 things I'm about to show you in this video, you'll have a crystal clear path to getting real skills and also real results. So let's get into it with step 1, which is understanding what AI copywriting even is in the first place. Because the funny thing is, most people actually get this wrong from day one. AI copywriting is not just prompting ChatGPT and then using your Control-C, Control-V, copy-paste. AI doesn't do everything for you, and it doesn't require literally zero skill or effort. AI does serve as a force multiplier in your copywriting. You can use AI in order to speed up your human skills. You can think of it like you being the director and AI being the assistant. So if you think of AI, for example, as a power tool, like a circular saw, just because you have one, it doesn't actually make you a carpenter. But if you do understand carpentry and you have the skill already, it will make you 10 times faster than someone who's just trying to use a regular saw. And it's the exact same with copywriting. You need to understand the fundamentals and what makes copy so effective in the first place. Otherwise, AI will just help you suck faster and at a larger scale. If you're using AI and you don't actually know how to write copy, not only is the copy not going to be good, but you're also going to be looking lazy because it looks like you just copy and pasted something from AI. So step number 1 is very simple. Stop thinking that AI is going to do everything for you. You can use it strategically, but also understand and focus your skills on copywriting and marketing in general. Which leads us to step 2, which is very related, which is learning the fundamentals. So here's exactly what you need to learn. First is very simple: how to grab attention, how to make great subject lines, and how to make good landing page headlines. 2 is understanding how to build desire in someone. So understand why benefits is so much more important than features, understand how to sell the actual transformation, and know really how to paint that before and after picture. 3rd is understanding how to handle objections. When someone has an objection to whatever you're saying that's supposed to be a belief shift or whatever your product does, how can you tactfully handle that objection and convince them that their concern actually isn't a big deal? Next is how to create urgency, not only just making people act, but making people want to act right now, because usually if people aren't going to act right now, right this second, they're not going to act at all. Now, no, you don't need to be a complete master at all of these and everything else under the sun, but you need to understand the basics and learn how they work. So here's exactly how to learn it very fast. Number 1 is to go watch my free 8-hour or free 4-hour copywriting course that goes through all the fundamentals and gives you tons of examples. And of course, the link to that will be down below in the description. Next is to study emails from successful businesses. It's very, very easy. You just go online, you're gonna see tons of ads, and most of those ads are gonna ask you for your email address. So give them an email address, and then you're gonna be able to compile all the great copy right there. And then next is to surround yourself with like-minded individuals who are also learning and mastering copy as well. You can review their copy, they can review your copy. You guys can just build off of each other. If you're looking for a place to do that, I have a free Discord community down below in the description where people are going and chatting, reviewing each other's copy, and we're all just building a great community so we can all get better and actually make this a full-time career for us. So you wanna make sure you're actually spending a week or 2 understanding and learning the fundamentals of copy before you really think you're gonna be successful at it. Which brings me to step number 3, which is mastering AI prompting with your copywriting. Now, this is where a lot of beginners mess up because they don't understand the nuances that have to go behind your prompting. It's a lot more complicated than just going to AI and saying, write me an email for this product. Because at the end of the day, AI is only as good as your instructions. Now, again, I have tons of videos on these, on AI copywriting specifically, and what prompts to use, but I'll make it very, very simple for the sake of this video and not go beyond the scope. So very simply, you want to give it copy context. You want to tell it what the business is actually selling, all of the market research that you've already done, and you want to tell it exactly how to write these emails. What do you want it to be about? What do you want it to do? What do you want it to promote? Do you want it to use analogies? Do you want it to use jokes? Or do you want it to be more of a fundamental and corporate-based voice? Being able to give AI all of this is what's really going to have it do 80% of the work for you so that you can just come in the end and just do the last 20%, and you can work so much faster and also make emails that are so much higher quality than you otherwise would be able to. And step number 4 is to build your AI copywriting workflow. So now that you have all the basics down, you know how to really create these emails and also use AI to help you. Now you need to build a workflow. You need to know how to do it repeatedly and efficiently as well. So there's a very simple and easy workflow that I like to teach my students. And it goes something like this. The first 10 to 15 minutes, you're doing research. The main research you're doing is client research. There's lots of different types of research, but client research is the easiest and fastest one. The reason as to why is because the client usually has done all the research already for you because they've been working in this business presumably for years already and making tons of money. So you study them, you study their brand voice, you study what they say and who they say it to. Next is you use AI to make your first drafts. So you give all of the things that you've compiled already, put it into AI. This is going to take another 5 to 10 minutes. You let it rip and then you see what you get. Now, the next part is probably one of the best skills that you can have and why critiquing copy and learning how to problem solve in copy is so important. But you then want to argue with AI, whether you're using ChatGPT or Claude AI, you want to argue with it. You want to tell it exactly what is wrong with the email that it just gave you, where it could do better, what you want in the future. And by doing this, not only are you going to make that piece of copy you're working on better, but you're also going to create a chat log that you can use in the future. So what this looks like is now instead of having to do all this stuff again, research, submitting the research, tell it exactly how you want the copy, you just say, hey, write me another email, but write it about something completely different. And now, again, all the work is already done for you because you've already done the research and you've already programmed AI. That's why this tool is so powerful. And after you've gotten your first draft, you want to do some human polishing. This is probably going to take 10 to 15 minutes. This is maybe the longest part right here. But again, if you didn't have AI, you'd be probably working on this for 50, 60 minutes just to create one email, your first email, and then you'd have to start from scratch again on your second email. Whereas with AI, the first email might take 30 to 40 minutes. The next one should take maybe 10 to 15. Now it's important to understand when you're doing your human editing, you want to take out as much AI slop as you can and put in as much of the human element as you can. That then is basically camouflage. Nobody knows that you've used AI for it. But the trick here is that you have to use AI consistently so that you can spot the patterns that AI usually does. For example, when you're using ChatGPT, it's always talking about, hey guys, I can't wait to embark on this journey. If you hear that, you know very, very quickly it was AI. Or they use all of those end dashes all of the time so that you completely spot it out and tell exactly that it's AI because nobody really writes like that. Now we move on to step 5, which is choosing your services. What services are you going to specialize in as a copywriter? My advice is to start very simple, right? There's a few really easy services that you can start out with. One of them, of course, is going to be email copywriting. This is things like welcome sequences, newsletter sequences, sales sequences, follow-up sequences, etc. Then you have option number 2, which is landing pages. These are the websites basically that people go to buy a product. Maybe someone will say, hey, I have a link in my bio where you can go and get this product. And the landing page is what you have created. And finally is ad copy. So you can go to find people who are already running ads and tell them that you can actually improve their ads and get them a better return on their ad spend. So the reason as to why these 3 things are so important is because if you were to increase any of these 3 things by about 10%, it could result in some huge monetary results for the client, which of course will do the same for you. So step number 6 is to create a practice work portfolio. People often ask me, Tyson, why would somebody hire me if I haven't had any clients before? And the reason is going to be your portfolio. If they are convinced that you can actually do the work anyways, and they don't really care who you've worked with before in the past. So if you have a collection of all of your top pieces of copy, where it's not just emails, you also have landing pages in there, ad copy, maybe some other things, then it's going to be a lot more attractive than somebody who's just coming around and has no clients and also no proof of their abilities as well. Step number 7 is to start outreaching, but make sure you do it the right way. So this is where most people freeze because this is where rejection gets introduced and you're actually going to have to grind in order to get your very first client. And even if you have to grind for 15, 30 days, it's still more than worth it because again, you're actually going to be a successful copywriter if you do this and if you do it correctly. So there's 3 very easy methods that I'll start you off with. The first is warm outreach. I have a video on my channel called the 24-hour outreach method if you want to learn more about it, but it's very simple. You take everybody that you know and everybody who knows who you know, you put them in a list and you go through and message all of your contacts and ask them if they'd be willing to give you an opportunity. Now, of course, this isn't super upfront. You don't want to have to risk your relationships with these people just by asking them basically for a job. So you simply send them a message saying that, hey, I'm getting into internet marketing and I want to get some experience under my belt and I want to work for somebody without any monetary compensation at first. So do you know anybody that could possibly do that? Message tons of people that message, and you'll be surprised at how many people actually do have an opportunity for you. Second is job boards. This is very, very simple. You go on something like Upwork, for example, you create your profile and you outreach to people and you send proposals for jobs. You just apply to 5 to 10 positions per day. There's no way that you're not getting a client from that. Then method number 3 is cold outreach. This is where you go on things like Instagram, or maybe you find people's email and you do cold email outreach, but you're messaging strangers in order to give them value, show them that you can actually write for their brand. And then once they see that you can write for their brand, they'll want to hire you. The key is that you're not going to want to be spammy at all. You actually want to make sure that you are sending high quality messages. Now, if you want to learn more about outreach, again, I have full on free courses right here on this channel about outreach, about getting clients that I highly recommend you go and watch after this one. Now, step 8 is to get your first project and make sure that you are over delivering as much as possible. If you do all the previous steps in the correct order, then you're gonna get your very first deal. And this very first deal probably isn't gonna be something that breaks the bank, but at least it's something that you can actually prove your skills with. And if you want to over deliver, there's 3 main things that you can do. One is over deliver on timeline. If they say they want it on Friday, give it to them on Wednesday. 2 is to over deliver on quantity. If they say they want 3 emails, give them 5. And then 3rd is to over deliver on quality. If they say they want really good email that does these 3 things, then not only make it do those 3 things, but make it like really, really good and just over the top, extremely high quality, higher quality than they were even expecting. And remember, your first client isn't about the compensation. It's mostly about the testimonial and getting the proof under your belt. And step 9 is to capture that testimonial and then use it as proof in order to get more clients. Once you have this testimonial, you want to be able to add this to your portfolio. And also you might be able to add a case study as well. A case study is very simple. It's where you're able to put your results in your portfolio. So if you were able to increase someone's open rate by 5% or the conversion rate, then you add that into your portfolio. And then again, it makes you look much more hireable. And then finally, step 10 is to scale to consistent clients. You want consistent retainer clients that compensate you every single month. So you want to remember just a couple of things. First one is to never stop outreaching. I don't care if you just got your dream client, you're still never going to stop outreaching. There is this saying in the sales world, which is ABC, always be closing. And it's the same with you as a copywriter. Number 2 is to make sure you ask every client for referrals, because you never know who you're going to be able to get on a client just by asking somebody. And these are going to be the easiest clients you've ever gotten. 3 is to make sure you are raising your rates. Don't just stay at the low rate or accept these low-level clients forever. You want to actually get some high-level clients that are compensating you a lot based on the amount of time that you're working for them. The goal is that in about 3 to 6 months, you're gonna be having extremely consistent client work and you're going to be able to make this work full time. Now, here's what you should do next. You should go full on deep into copywriting and all the basics and fundamentals that go into it. And also watch me review and show you, break down a bunch of copyright before your eyes. And if you wanna see that, those types of things are in the free 4-hour copywriting course and the free 8-hour copywriting course. But if you already understand the basics as it is, you'll probably wanna know more things about like outreach and how to get clients. And again, those types of videos are on this channel as well. And lastly, if you're just kind of skeptical about starting, or you want to learn more about if there are people who already got results with it, what I'll also do is I'll leave my playlist to the wins, meaning all the past students who I worked with who have done really, really well with this. I'll leave that playlist down below as well so you can go check it out. Anyways, that's it for today. And of course, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.